Welcome back, basketball fans, to another massive edition of our NBA Deep Dive. Today, we are standing at the absolute epicenter of the 2026 NBA offseason, a summer that has already completely rewritten the rulebook of the league and shifted the balance of power in ways we could not have possibly imagined just a few months ago. If you thought the drama had settled down, you are entirely mistaken, because we are currently tracking two major league-altering storylines that have everyone from front office executives to casual fans on the absolute edge of their seats. The rumors are swirling, the tension is palpable, and the stakes have literally never been higher. Our primary focus today revolves around a potential superstar team-up that sounds like it was pulled straight out of a video game, alongside a baffling free agency freeze-out involving a newly crowned champion. We are diving deep into the incredible situation unfolding in South Beach, where the newly acquired Miami Heat superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo is apparently dealing with some serious anxiety. The good kind of anxiety, the nerve-wracking anticipation, over the possibility of none other than LeBron James making a sensational, historic return to the Miami Heat. You heard that correctly. The Greek Freak and the King might be joining forces, and Giannis himself is completely unable to hide his emotions about it. And on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, we have a bizarre and somewhat heartbreaking reality checking in for a proven veteran. Despite being a crucial part of the New York Knicks' incredible 2026 NBA championship run, former Sixth Man of the Year Jordan Clarkson is currently sitting by the phone, waiting for a call that is yet to come. No team has signed him, and we have to ask why a championship pedigree scorer is being left out in the cold in a league that supposedly values shot creation above all else. This is not just your standard off-season rumor mill. We are looking at the very fabric of the league changing. On one hand, you have Pat Riley and the Miami Heat trying to pull off what would arguably be the greatest late-career legacy play in NBA history by bringing LeBron back to where he learned how to win championships, pairing him with prime Giannis Antetokounmpo and the defensive anchor Bam Adebayo. The sheer gravity of that potential big three is enough to keep every other general manager in the Eastern Conference awake at night. We saw Giannis recently on a live stream, literally holding his heart, reacting to fake reports about LeBron going to Cleveland, and it showed us just how invested Giannis is in this recruitment process. He wants this. The Heat want this. But the financial realities of the NBA's notoriously punishing second apron might make things complicated. And speaking of that second apron, it leads us directly into our second massive story. Jordan Clarkson, a player who poured his heart out for the Knicks, providing a critical spark in the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs, is currently the victim of this new financial landscape. The Knicks want him back. They have expressed a deep desire to retain him on a veteran's minimum contract, but the squeeze of the salary cap, the need for a third center after signing Andre Drummond, and the chilling effect of the new collective bargaining agreement on middle-class NBA players have left Clarkson in a holding pattern. We are going to unpack every single layer of this. We will analyze the on-court feel of LeBron and Giannis pairing. We will dissect the psychological warfare of NBA free agency, and we will break down exactly why Jordan Clarkson is a poster child for the harsh realities of the modern NBA cap sheet. Settle in, grab a notebook, because this is going to be a comprehensive, long-form breakdown of the state of the NBA in the summer of 2026. Let us begin by dissecting this absolute bombshell of a situation brewing in Miami. To truly understand the gravity of what is happening, we have to look at the context. The Miami Heat, in a blockbuster move that shook the league to its core, recently acquired Giannis Antetokounmpo. This alone elevated the Heat back into the upper echelon of championship contenders. Giannis, a multi-time MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, a champion who conquered the basketball world in Milwaukee, decided he needed a new chapter. He needed the fabled Heat culture. He aligned himself with Jimmy Butler's former running mate, Bam Adebayo, under the masterful tactical guidance of head coach Eric Spoelstra. The defensive potential of a Giannis and Bam frontcourt is terrifying. It is a switch-everything, rim-protecting nightmare for opposing offenses. But the Heat have never been a franchise to rest on their laurels. Pat Riley does not play for second place. He hunts whales. And right now, the biggest whale in the ocean, a familiar friend, is navigating the free agency waters. LeBron James, having decided not to return to the Los Angeles Lakers, is the domino that will dictate the rest of the offseason. And Giannis knows it. He knows it intimately. Recently, during a live stream with internet personality N3 On, Giannis gave us a rare, unfiltered, completely authentic glimpse into his mindset. This was not a polished press conference answer crafted by a public relations team. This was raw emotion. N3 On looked at Giannis and brought up the swirling rumors, saying they want you to be his teammate in Miami. Giannis just shrugged with a massive, knowing smile. But the true golden moment, the moment that set the internet on fire, happened later in the stream. Someone showed Giannis a fake social media report claiming that LeBron had already agreed to return to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Giannis's reaction was priceless. He laughed, he grabbed his chest, and he said, "Touch my heart. Bro, do not do that to me. Give me a heart attack." When he realized it was a fake report, the relief washed over his face, and he exclaimed, there is a chance." That single reaction tells you everything you need to know about the power dynamics in the NBA right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo, arguably the most physically dominant force in the sport today, is nervously tracking LeBron's free agency like a fan refreshing his social media feed. He understands the historical significance. He understands the basketball fit. Let's talk about that basketball fit for a moment. Because if LeBron does return to South Beach, it creates a tactical, fascinating puzzle. We are talking about an older, wiser LeBron James. He is no longer the relentless, rim-pressuring athlete he was during his first stint in Miami from 2010 to 2014. Today, LeBron is the ultimate floor general, a grandmaster playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He dictates the tempo. He manipulates defenses with his eyes, and his perimeter shooting has evolved out of necessity. Now, imagine putting the ultimate playmaker alongside the ultimate devastating finisher in Giannis. Giannis is a one-man fast break, a battering ram who demands a wall of 3 defenders every time he touches the paint. If you build a wall for Giannis, you are leaving shooters open. If LeBron James is the one orchestrating the offense, he will find the open man every single time. Furthermore, the pick-and-roll potential between LeBron and Giannis is virtually unguardable. Who do you put on the ball handler? Who do you put on the screener? If they switch, LeBron has a mismatch to exploit in the post, or Giannis has a smaller guard sealed under the basket. Add Bam Adebayo to this mix, and you have a front-court trio that boasts unprecedented basketball IQ, passing ability, and sheer physical dominance. Of course, there are skeptics. There are always skeptics. We recently heard from former NBA champion Danny Green, who offered a rather troubling prediction for this potential Miami squad. Green bluntly stated that if Giannis suffers even a minor calf strain, the Heat will find themselves in the draft lottery. He argued that both Miami and Milwaukee will be fighting in the play-in tournament, claiming there is not much talent in Miami outside of Bam and Giannis. He pointed out that just because Giannis is in Miami, it does not guarantee immediate success, citing the Bucks' recent struggles. And while Danny Green's assessment might sound harsh, it points to a very real vulnerability: depth. When you consolidate your assets to acquire a superstar like Giannis, and then potentially maneuver your salary cap to accommodate LeBron James, you are gutting your role players. You are relying on veteran minimum signings, undrafted free agents, and the sheer brilliance of Eric Spoelstra to piece together a functional rotation. Heat culture is famous for maximizing the talent of fringe players, but asking them to fill out a championship roster around 3 max-level or near-max-level stars is a monumental task. The top-heavy nature of this theoretical roster means they would be one rolled ankle away from disaster. Yet, for Pat Riley, it is a gamble worth taking. You do not get the chance to pair LeBron and Giannis twice in a lifetime. Now, as we transition from the glamorous, star-studded beaches of Miami, we have to travel up the coast to the concrete jungle of New York City, where a very different, much more sobering reality of the NBA business is playing out. The New York Knicks are currently sitting on top of the world. They are the defending 2026 NBA champions. They just completed a magical, hard-fought 5-game takedown of Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs in the finals. The city is still buzzing. The confetti has barely been swept up from the Canyon of Heroes. And yet, one of the players who contributed to that championship culture is currently without a job. Jordan Clarkson, a 12-year NBA veteran, a former Sixth Man of the Year, and a historic figure as the first player of Filipino descent to win an NBA championship, is still a free agent. No team has signed him. To understand why a player with Clarkson's pedigree is currently unemployed in mid-July, we have to look closely at his journey and the suffocating rules of the new NBA collective bargaining agreement. Jordan Clarkson is a professional scorer. Throughout his career, from his early days with the Los Angeles Lakers alongside Kobe Bryant, to his time in Cleveland with LeBron, to his absolute peak years with the Utah Jazz, Clarkson has been a bucket getter. He won the Sixth Man of the Year award in Utah by being an unapologetic offensive engine off the bench. But as players age, their roles must adapt. Last summer, after being waived by the Jazz, Clarkson joined the Knicks on a one-year deal worth roughly $3.6 million. He accepted a reduced role. He was no longer the primary bench scorer. He was an insurance policy, a veteran presence in the locker room. Statistically, it was the worst year of his career. He averaged just 8.6 points per game, shooting 45% from the field and only 32% from three-point range. His playing time fluctuated wildly under head coach Tom Thibodeau, who notoriously demands defensive perfection from his rotation players. There were times in the playoffs when Clarkson barely saw the floor. In Game 1 of the NBA Finals, he played 5 minutes. In Game 2, he received a did not play, coach's decision. But the true measure of a veteran is how they respond when their number is finally called. In a crucial Game 3 of the Finals, the Knicks needed a spark. The offense was stagnating. Thibodeau looked down the bench and pointed to Clarkson, and the veteran delivered. In just 13 minutes of action, Clarkson exploded for 10 points on 4 of 7 shooting, hitting both of his three-point attempts and grabbing 3 rebounds. He completely changed the momentum of the game. He proved that even at 34 years old, even after sitting on the bench for a week, he still possesses that microwave scoring ability that has defined his career. He helped secure that championship for New York. So why is he unsigned? The answer lies in the terrifying financial penalty known as the second apron. The NBA introduced this new salary cap threshold to actively punish teams for spending excessively, effectively killing the concept of the endlessly funded super team. Teams that cross the second apron lose crucial team-building tools. They cannot use the mid-level exception. They cannot aggregate salaries in trades. And their future draft picks can be frozen or moved at the end of the first round. General managers are absolutely terrified of the second apron. Because of this, the middle class of the NBA has completely collapsed. You either have star players making $40 to $50 million, or you have young players on rookie-scale contracts and veterans willing to play for the absolute minimum. The Knicks are currently dancing on the razor's edge of the second apron. After acquiring their new backup center, Andre Drummond, the Knicks have roughly $6.5 million of breathing room below that dreaded threshold. That is enough money to sign 2 players to the veterans' minimum. New York desperately needs a third-string center because Ariel Ekporti recently departed in free agency for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Knicks are canvassing the market for big men, trying to figure out how to allocate those final 2 roster spots. Reports from respected insiders like Ian Begley and Stephen Bondy suggest that the Knicks have expressed a consistent desire to bring Clarkson back. Re-signing him seems like a no-brainer. Looking at the Knicks bench heading into the title defense, Clarkson would likely be the 4th guard in the rotation behind guys like Miles McBride, Jose Alvarado, and Landry Shamet. You can truly never have too much guard depth in an 82-game season. Having a career 15-point-per-game scorer sitting in your back pocket, a guy who knows the system, knows the coach, and has championship experience, is incredibly valuable. He is no longer a Sixth Man of the Year candidate, but he is a steady, reliable professional. Yet, other teams around the league are looking at his age, looking at his diminished three-point percentage from last year, and looking at their own terrifying cap sheets, and they are choosing to wait. They are hoping to find a younger, cheaper option, leaving a champion like Clarkson twisting in the wind. As we look at these 2 diverging stories, it paints a fascinating picture of the modern NBA ecosystem. In Miami, you have the absolute pinnacle of star power, a franchise desperately trying to bend the rules of aging and salary caps to assemble a legendary trio. Giannis Antetokounmpo, in the prime of his career, is showing us a beautiful vulnerability, openly admitting how nervous and excited he is at the prospect to play with his idol, LeBron James. It reminds us that underneath the multi-million-dollar contracts and the superhuman athleticism, these players are still fans of the game. They still dream of historic team-ups and championship parades. If Pat Riley pulls this off, if LeBron dons a Heat jersey once again, it will be the undisputed story of the decade. The pressure on Eric Spoelstra to make it work, to manage the egos, the workloads, and inevitable injuries will be astronomical. But the upside is basketball nirvana. Conversely, the Jordan Clarkson situation is a stark reminder of the cold, calculating business of basketball. You can do everything right. You can accept a lesser role. You can be a great teammate. You can step up in the NBA Finals and hit crucial shots to help your franchise hang a banner. And you can still find yourself unemployed a month later because of spreadsheets and luxury tax calculations. It is a harsh reality for the veterans of this league. The second apron has fundamentally changed how front offices operate, prioritizing financial flexibility over proven, steady production. The Knicks should, by all logical basketball metrics, bring Jordan Clarkson back to Madison Square Garden. He earned it, and they need his depth. But until the ink is dry on a contract, nothing is guaranteed in this league. I want to turn it over to you guys now. What are your thoughts on this chaotic offseason? Do you believe the Miami Heat can actually pull off this miracle and sign LeBron James to pair with Giannis? And if they do, is Danny Green right? Are they just too thin on the bench to be a true threat? Or would the sheer talent of LeBron, Giannis, and Bam be enough to steamroll the Eastern Conference? And what about Jordan Clarkson? Are you surprised that a player who just hit clutch shots in the NBA Finals cannot find a job right now? Should the Knicks use their last bit of cap space to bring him back? Or should they focus entirely on finding another big man? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your predictions down in the comment section below. I will be down there reading and responding as always. This offseason is far from over, and we will be here to break down every single rumor, trade, and signing as soon as it happens. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an update. The 2026 season is shaping up to be one for the history books. Until next time, stay tuned, stay passionate about the game, and I will catch you in the next breakdown.